everyone, welcome back to Gracie May's Tarot. So today we're going to be finding out any clues, information about your future spouse's personality. So we'll be going through, I'll be shuffling some cards on camera, and then we also have pre-pulled cards, and then we will end with some matchsticks. But yeah, so we have three groups to choose from. So for pile one, we have this cute little root bear hair clip. For pile two, we've got the fruity bears. And then, oh, got some cat fur on me, sorry. For pile three, we've got, I guess the lavender bears. So for pile three, so take a moment, pause, meditate on the groups if you need to. The timestamps are listed below in the description box, just like always. And I'll see you guys in your reading. Alright, on my pile ones who chose the root bear hair clip, welcome to your reading. So I'll go ahead and say there's some very strong divine masculine energy here. So that doesn't mean necessarily that your future spouse will be a male if that's not what you're interested in. We're just talking about energy here. But, you know, this is a general reading, so take what resonates. But I will say, your future spouse is a boss, okay? They have very strong leadership abilities. They're very traditional, they're hardworking, they're very by the book. I mean, we have Aries and Taurus energy, the ram and the bull, like already starting off. I mean, this is just very, very strong energy. So your future spouse, you know, like I said, they're very hardworking, they're very goal-oriented, they're very ambitious, they like to take the lead, they like to take charge. You know, they have a very strong moral compass and an idea of this is what is right and this is what is wrong, and they live by that. And in some ways it's traditional, but in other ways it's more of they've learned from their past experiences and they've developed this sense of what is right and what is wrong based upon that. So there's a lot of wisdom here, okay? It's not just that they take on the views of society or their family, because they're very highly individualistic. Even though they have this respect for family and tradition, they also have a sense of their own moral compass, their own moral code. And so this is someone that is very honest, very trustworthy. They can be a bit blunt. You know, they can maybe sometimes be a bit too honest in a sense of they have this commitment to the truth, and sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, and they're not someone who likes to dress up or water down the truth. So, you know, everyone has areas for growth, and I would say, like, sometimes your future spouse could benefit from being a bit more flexible, a little less rigid, a bit more tactful in how they speak. Because they are just very much, they say what comes to mind, not in an overly impulsive way, because I think the Taurus energy here is balancing out that Aries, you know, the fire and the earth, but it's more so they say what comes to mind, but they say it in a way where it's very measured, they're very direct, but again, it's missing that emotional component. They're not always the most sensitive, but they also are truthful and they're honest, and they're not going to just say something to manipulate someone or say something to flatter someone. You know, if they pay you a compliment, you can know that it's genuine, that sort of energy. And I will say too, with the fire and the earth, this is also someone that you would never want to cross them, because they have such a strong sense of self. You know, if they don't go, they're not the type of person to start arguments or something like that, but if someone sort of attacks them for no reason, which can happen with this person because sometimes they trigger people because they have such a strong sense of individuality. Other people who have less developed egos can sometimes project their insecurities upon them. And so that's why sometimes they get involved in like unnecessary arguments, you know, because there's a lot of passion, like here with the lining of like the chili peppers. They kind of just bring out that spark sometimes in people. But I will say, like, it reminds me of like scorched earth, like that fire energy with that grounding earth energy. They're just not someone who's gonna back down. Like, they're the kind of person like, don't start none, won't be none. But if you do start it with me, best believe I'm gonna finish the argument. They're gonna have the last word. And that's not like in reference to their relationship with you. That's just more so, I'm getting in like business. You know, they don't take any crap from, you know, this person likely is in like, if they don't own their own business, they're likely in like a management position. I could not see this person not having a successful career, to be honest with you. If not, they're still in that like hustle phase, but they will get there. They don't take any crap. Like, it doesn't matter if you're their boss, their coworker, whatever. I mean, they know who they are. And you're not going to sit there and tell them that the sky is green or gaslight them. They're so connected to the truth and their sense of what is right and what is wrong. And they are also the type of person to go to bat for someone else. They cannot stand. There's so much coming through for this person because, like I said, it's a strong personality. But they cannot stand to see someone else ganged up on. You know, like if they see one person getting attacked by like 5 different people, like verbally, they'll step in, they'll defend that person. Or if they see something that they just feel is ethically wrong, if they see something that is unjust, you know, this is the type of person who really promotes like human rights and stuff like that. Like, they just have this really strong belief system. Yeah, okay, I think that's enough with these 2 cards. Let's see what else we have. Oh, more Taurus energy. What a shock. Okay, so let's start actually with this Libra card here. A new romantic cycle begins. So for a lot of you, you haven't met your future spouse yet, or if you have, this is going to be someone returning from your past. That doesn't mean an ex. I'm not really getting ex energy from this. Take what resonates, but I would say I don't think that you've met this person yet, but I do feel like they are coming soon. Now, mind you, when we talk about soon, we're on the spiritual realms kind of timetable. So soon doesn't mean necessarily next week. You know, it can mean like 3 to 6 months up to a year kind of thing. Okay. And then your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. This person is very, very practical. They're very goal-oriented. They like to have a structured routine. You know, this is the type of person who wakes up at a certain time. They go to bed at a certain time. You know, they meal prep, or they make sure they have time to cook something healthy. You know, they make sure they have time to exercise. They make time for self-care, or they make time for their family. They're very structured and they know how to balance. Because with Taurus here, like, they work hard to play hard. You know, they're not just working for the sake of working. They want to be able to enjoy all of life's pleasures. Like, Taurus is a very sensual sign. And Taurus people especially, and by the way, we're talking about energy here. It doesn't necessarily mean that your future spouse will be an Aries or a Taurus, but these could be significant placements in their chart, and you can take that as a confirmation. We also, of course, have Libra here. And I think that Libra, I'll come back to this in a second, but again, so many messages coming through. With the Libra card here too, that goes back to that sense of justice, that sense of fairness, that sense of balance, truth is so important. Like, those are values that your future spouse really holds near and dear to their heart. And then, like I was saying with this card, very sensual, and Taurus people really have an appreciation of beauty. You know, it's that Venus energy that's coming through, I would say, honestly, with both of these cards. Yeah, there's just this appreciation of life and wanting to build a beautiful life. This person's a builder. You know, they don't wait for things to come to them. They're very much a go-getter. Okay, let's see what else we have. Oh, I've got too many cards. Okay, we've got turning inward. Inside this veil of bone and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. All the truths within thy breath have come to greet me. This person is very, very self-reflective. And I think that's why they're so successful and why they have such a strong sense of self, because they really have taken the time to get to know who they are. And that may seem kind of silly, but there is such power. There is so much strength in knowing who you are, because no one can tell you any limiting beliefs. No one can project, honestly, their BS onto you if you know who you are. You know, no one can sit there and tell you you're dumb, you're a failure, you're not good enough. None of that, because you know who you are and you know what you're capable of. And this is the type of person where even if they fail, because we all have setbacks, right? We all have challenges. Even when they fail, they take the time to learn from that and they grow. And they're not the type of person they don't overly believe their own hype. So, you know, if someone is flattering them and is only there to praise them when they're doing well, and then when they're struggling, that person turns around and kicks them while they're down, your future spouse is the type of person to be able to see that and recognize that. You know, they're very particular about the people that they surround themselves with. You know, they really don't, they have a very clear vision of who is actually supportive and who is not a good friend or someone who doesn't have their best interests at heart. Because your person is so ambitious and they have like very big goals for themselves, they don't have time. Not a minute of their time, I can tell you, is going to be spent on people who actively don't wish them well, or for people who don't want to see them succeed. You know, because people can lie to you, right? Like, people can be secretly happy when you struggle, when you fail, because they're insecure. And your future spouse is not someone to get tricked by that. You know, it's that self-reflection, you know, and they can, because I think what is also coming through is that your person is a real networker because they're so business-minded, but they also have that balance. So they know how to network, they're big on socializing and stuff like that, but they also take those moments to self-reflect, to go inward, and to spend some time on their own. You know, this is not in any ways a codependent person. You know, they do value their alone time. They do value having space away from the world and to collect their thoughts. Because there's a lot of planning, like I said, right? Okay. We've got remembering. It says, "Oh, thy glimpse glimmer in the darkest of sights, never forgotten, never still, yet pacing in the mind the twilight of the night." Okay. I think there's more to this person than what is on the surface. I think what we have been describing so far has been very surface level. We've been describing their personality in terms of what they project to the world. And I think that there's more to this person, and they're very careful about who they share that side of themselves with. And given that this person is your future spouse, I think you will have the privilege of knowing them in a much deeper and spiritual way than anyone else in their life, probably. Because like I said, this is the type of person where you have to earn their trust. And it's not that they're suspicious, it's just more so they're very discerning. They're very discerning. And now with this remembering card, also could be potentially someone from your past, but I think it's going to be very split. For some of you, like I said, it's going to be someone from your past and they come back and it's someone that you haven't seen in a long time, okay? But I'm not getting X vibes from this whatsoever. It may have been an old friend, an old acquaintance. And then, like I said, for the others of you watching, it's going to be a new person entirely. Just take what resonates. I'm trying to get all the messages that are coming through because I know these videos do, a lot of people do watch them. Okay. And then we've got Mother Mary. "Into the arms of a mothering embrace swells a wisdom full of grace. and thy bosom where she whispers sleep, the eye of winter. Yes, like I said, there's more to this person. Okay, so we've been talking about a lot of divine masculine energy. That is what they project outwards. Inwardly, there is that feminine energy, and I think that was coming through because, like I said, this person values balance. And so in order to value that in the external world, you kind of have to embody that internally as well, right? And this person does. They do have a softer, more nurturing side to them. They do like to take care of people. And it's not just financially in a masculine sort of way of like a provider or a protector. It's also a very feminine side, a very feminine energy to them where, you know, they're the type of person who would want to cook you a meal. They're the type of person that would want to be there and listen to you. You know, they're the type of person that would want to be supportive of you, nurturing of you. You know, that sort of mothering energy is coming through. They are very compassionate people. Even if they're very blunt and to the point, there's a great sense of compassion here with Mother Mary, absolutely. And there is a spiritual side to them. They just don't project it. They keep that more internally, because to them, that spiritual side to them, and that doesn't mean religious, right? It could be, but it doesn't mean that necessarily. It's just something that to them is deeply personal. And I think that's what guides them a lot, because they have such faith in themselves, but it's because they have faith in the universe, God, like whatever terminology they use, but they do believe that everything happens for a reason, that if bad things happen, it's a lesson, it's an opportunity for growth. You know, what may seem like a bad thing at one time, years down the line may turn out to be a great blessing. It's all about perspective. You know, they have a very optimistic outlook. Yeah, that's coming through as well. And it's because they have faith that the universe, God, whoever has their back, is supporting them, that they're able to move through the world with such confidence, such self-assurance, and they're able to meet challenges really with grace, honestly. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle some cards. Let's just get some more information about your relationship with this person. So pile 1 and their connection with their future spouse. Pile 1 and their connection with their future spouse. Any information? Okay, we've got attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. See the imagery here on the card? Like, this to me is very Taurian. This is very Taurus. The way that she's stopping here and smelling the roses, it's again that sense of beauty. They're really going to appreciate how beautiful you are. And again, like if you're a male watching, you can still apply that to you. I know there's like ridiculous gender roles in society, but there's this attraction to your beauty, but it's deeper. You know, it's not just the physical, it's in the way you move, it's in the way you speak, it's in the way you dress and present yourself, it's in the way that you love, it's in the way that you are. It's like the very essence of you. It's your internal and your external. They're just attracted to you. It's very magnetic. And because they appreciate beauty so much, they see all of the beauty in you, even things that you think are flaws. I mean, they really just, there's a high level of attraction here. You guys are like magnets to each other. And I will say too, with that magnets, it could be that this person is very different than you, at least on the surface. That may just resonate for some of you, but I'm getting that as well. Okay. New love, what did I tell you? Yeah, for a lot of you, this is a new person or a new start with someone that you used to know that you were not previously in a romantic partnership with. Okay, love yourself first. So if you feel like you haven't met this person yet, definitely work on your self-love, work on your self-care, work on your value of how you view yourself, because it will bring in this person faster. You will manifest this person a lot more quickly. And given how strong of a personality this person has, I mean, you got to be ready for them, because they may trigger you in some ways. They may, you know, if you're an insecure person, it could be really difficult to have someone compliment you all the time. You may not believe it. You may be suspicious. That's coming through. You know, this person has a strong personality, so, I mean, they are really high vibe. Like, they are, yeah, this person is not in a lower vibrational energy, so be honest with yourself. If you're watching this and you feel like you've been really down lately, no judgment, we all go through cycles. But, you know, this person isn't going to move down a lower vibrational ring to get with you, right? So you got to meet them. So if you feel like there's some areas for self-love, if you haven't been doing your self-care, if you got to do some shadow work, whatever you got to do, that will absolutely help you manifest this person much quicker and with ease, and help divine timing along. Okay, so with these cards, what we'll be doing is we'll try to get some information about your future spouse's career. So what do they do for work? Because I would bet that their career is a very significant area of their life. So pile 1, what does their future spouse do for work? Okay. Okay, we've got healer. So this can mean a lot of things. I know it has an image here of kind of a doctor. So your future spouse could be a doctor, anyone working in the medical field. So they can be a nurse, a PA, a physical therapist, anything. They could even be working in like hospital administration and do like public health policy. They could be in the mental health field, so they could be a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. They could be a clinical social worker. They could potentially do something on the spiritual side, but because we said that their spiritual nature was more internal to them, I would doubt that, to be honest with you. I think it's more so medical or mental health field. They heal people in some way. I typically do include spiritual healing in this, but for your future spouse, I'm just not getting that. Since this is a general reading, I'm gonna pull 2 more cards just because there's a lot of you watching. Oh, and that's cool. 2 cards just fell on the floor. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, we've got books. Okay, so could be that this person is just a big reader. Remember how I said that they like to spend their, they like their time with themselves. They like to spend quality time with themselves. Like they value their alone time. Books is a solitary hobby, so this person could be a big reader. It could also be that maybe their job involves books, so maybe they're like an English teacher, a librarian, something like that. Maybe they work for a university. And then we've got career change. So it could be that this person is in the middle of a career change when you meet them. So maybe they're with books, maybe they're a student, and maybe they're studying to become a doctor or a therapist or something like that. That's also coming through. Okay. Let's get, oh sorry, I think I shook the camera there. My bad. Okay, so now let's just get some more love cards using the pretty love story deck. I always try to be extra careful when I'm shuffling these because they're a bit stiff and I don't want to bend them. I'm definitely a lot rougher on these cards. Okay, so pile 1, any further information about pile 1's connection with their future spouse. Pile 1's connection with their future spouse. Alright, let's see. Just flipped over. Hope. Don't lose hope, guys. If you're watching this reading and you're really feeling alone, you're feeling down, you know, you kind of have a negative outlook on love, or you're trying to remain optimistic, but some days it's just hard, have hope, okay? There's definitely probably an element of divine timing in all of this. This is probably, with the attraction and the magnets, probably a soulmate connection, high possibility that this person, you know, you two are meant to meet. It doesn't mean necessarily that you have to marry them. You know, you still have free will, but there's definitely kind of that red thread of fate with soulmates. I'm getting that for this connection as well. We've got romance, very romantic connection. Like I said, this person wants to take care of you, and not just like financially or, you know, something like that. It's that they want to nurture you. You know, there's that really strong maternal energy here. So they really are just very caring, very supportive, very kind people. And like I said, that softer side of them, you're going to get that. Because I think when you meet this person, like, they come off as really tough. You know, they don't, like I said, they don't have to be a man. This could definitely be talking about a woman, but, or non-binary, whatever, like I said. But we're talking about energy, right? I bet listeners of these videos get tired of having tarot readers explain that over and over again, but I'm always afraid that I won't add a disclaimer and someone will get upset. So I always have to just repeat myself that we're talking about energy. But anyway, very romantic connection. You guys probably both like to spoil each other. I mean, you really are just very dedicated. When someone is so hardworking, that can extend to all areas of their life. I mean, they don't just put a lot of effort into their career, into their passion, into their self-development. They put a lot of effort into their relationship with you. I'm gonna be honest, this might end up being my favorite group, and I haven't even filmed the other two groups. I just resonate a lot personally with this energy. Yeah, I am all about your future spouse, okay? All right, so guarded. Yeah, this person could definitely have been hurt before, and I don't think that they're guarded like they're emotionally closed off. I know there are like chains here around the heart, but I'm getting more of a sense of they're protective of themselves because they've been hurt before, they've encountered pain before, heartbreak. You know, it could have been like really deep wounds, not just with like an ex-partner, but maybe even with family or friends. They've just been betrayed before, and that's why they've developed this ability to be discerning. That's why they're so connected with their intuition. They can suss out a fake person a mile away. They can read people, their vibe. You know, this is not the type of person you can hide the truth from. You know, they're gonna see right through. They can see someone's true intentions with ease, with grace. And so because they have this discernment, because they're so, I'm getting like verbally witty too. Yeah, this person can cut you down with their words if they choose to. I'm getting a little bit of a Queen or King of Swords energy from this. Yeah, I think because they have that attitude that they project forward to protect themselves, that they can be a bit intimidating. And so you wouldn't expect this person to emotionally open up. You wouldn't expect this person to be vulnerable, but they have that capacity with that Mother Mary card. They have a great capacity to be open, to be nurturing, to connect to that divine feminine. But it's about who they choose to share that with. And as their future spouse, you will definitely bring out that softer side to them. Okay, codependency. I think this person, because they value individuality, because they value independence, it's because they've known codependence before and they want no part of it. No part of it. Yeah, they can't stand it. They cannot stand to feel chained to someone else. They want to have the freedom to leave at any time. If something becomes unhealthy, they will not stay. They value themselves too much. They have a deep understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. They refuse to give and give and give and not have it be reciprocated. So like if you're watching this reading, be prepared to treat this person right, because if you're not, they will not stay. They will not tolerate it. You know, that's not to say that if you're struggling in your relationship with this person, they won't put the work in. Like I said, they are willing to put a lot of work in, but they will be damned if they're putting in work and you're not meeting that effort. They value themselves too much. This person has a very strong sense of self. That's why I said you have to be at this person's level. You have to be ready to meet them there. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm going to have to get way back here for these tea leaf cards. Okay. Now, I always do a disclaimer with the tea leaf cards. These are really specific messages, and this is a general reading. So, you know, if some of these do not resonate, please leave it, okay? So we've got Seahorse, Family Matters. I feel like two ways with this. One, this person places a high value on family, but I think this person has likely been hurt by either a lot of their family, or there's been some sort of tragedy in their family. There's been some sort of generational trauma with them. You know, they place a high value on family because they don't have it. You know, and they realize, they really feel like a lot of people take their family for granted. And so I feel like this person, because I'm getting this with seahorses, right? Like, even I think the males are the ones who carry like the babies. So I don't know, there's just something here that's a bit unusual, like not expected. With the seahorse, it's kind of like they place a high value on family because they don't really have a strong connection to their family, and it's not through any fault of their own. It's more of like they've had to do this for survival, so that they could grow and develop into the person that they needed to become. It's like sometimes you have to love people from a distance, sometimes you have to love people from afar because they hurt you so much. And they don't hold any ill will towards their family, they just, or maybe they never had a family to start with. But it's sort of like they've had to learn how to stand on their own, but they also understand that they can't keep carrying on like this. This is not how people are meant to live. People are meant to live in community and connection with others. And so it's sort of like they have this attitude where like they understand that if they want to have a family, they're gonna have to make one. So that's either gonna be through like found family, like friends, or they want to start a family with you when you've been, like, once you're married. Because like I said, with that tradition, they're very by the book. You know, they want to date, they want to propose, or, you know, you propose to them, they want to get married, and then start a family. They're very traditional in that aspect. And it's because they value stability. They don't want to bring children into this world without a stable partnership. And to them, that means marriage. No judgment if that isn't your value. I'm just telling you this is from your future spouse's perspective, what they value. And that could be related to some childhood trauma. You know, maybe there were a lot of divorces in their family, absent parents, teenage pregnancies. There was just a lot of instability. They came into this world in a very unstable position, and they have worked their way from like the dirt, okay? This person is strong. Like, this person is resilient. Okay, we've got dark man. Dealings or relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. Like I said, specific message. If you're inquiring about a woman, leave this. Could just be that they have dark hair, or they have naturally dark features if they dye their hair or something. Okay, we got wishbone, a wish is granted. Yeah, this person definitely, like, if you're trying to manifest someone, wow, like, you're manifesting a winner. Like, this person just comes across as a winner, and it's all earned. They've earned it. Okay, let's end with, well, we're not gonna end with matchsticks. I'm like getting way ahead of myself. Okay, so I pulled one self-care message that your future spouse's higher self would like you to sort of take into consideration at the time that you're watching this reading. So you've got choice, And it says, worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. How in line with your future spouse's personality is this? Like, this is like so on the money. This is making me so happy because it's so on the money for how they are. Like, this feels like something they would say to you. Yeah, because they think worrying is a waste of time. Because like I said, they're very pragmatic, but they also have a spiritual side to them. And they're like, no, like worrying is a waste of time. Just know that you can handle anything that comes your way because A, the universe has your back, and B, you're strong enough. You can do it. You know, don't doubt yourself. It's kind of like that saying, you know, the bird never worries about the strength of the branch because she trusts her wings. That's kind of the message that is coming through. You know, don't worry about how strong the branch is that you're standing on. Trust your wings. Trust your inner strength. Okay, so let's get some matchstick cards for pile 1 and their future spouse. Pile 1 and their future spouse. Okay, you guys got 4. So it says, plan a scary date, a roller coaster, a horror movie, or a haunted house. That would be right up my alley. I love roller coasters. Make out in a movie theater. This one comes out a lot. I don't know if that's just my imagination. Act like kids together. With that act like kids together, like I said, it could be that you knew this person in the past, but they were a friend or an acquaintance. So maybe you knew them when you were like in high school or something like that. Or they're just going to bring out a playful side to you. Or you will bring out that side of them. And we have go on a road trip, planned or spontaneous. Could be for a few of you, this is a long distance connection with that go on a road trip. So maybe you two will be driving to meet each other, or you both are just very adventurous and you like to get away for the weekend, you know, do a day trip, that kind of thing. Very spontaneous energy. Okay, all right, pile 1. I had so much fun filming this. I'm all about this vibe, all about this energy. I'm so excited for you. Honestly, I think this is my ego talking, but your future spouse sounds a bit like me in some ways. So I think that's why I enjoyed filming this. But yeah, so please take care. Let me know in the comments down below what you feel about like half pre-pulled cards, half shuffling on camera. I think that's a good balance because I know, you know, some people prefer one way or the other. And also let me know like if you like love readings because those seem to be really popular and I have fun filming them, so I don't mind making more. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I always upload new videos on Mondays, but whenever I have more free time, I would like to upload more than 1 video a week, but I'm just busy. So anyway, you guys take care. I'll see you in my next one. All right, on my pile 2s, if you chose the Fruity Bears, welcome to your reading. Okay, so we've got the Death card and we've got Strength here. Also very strong energy to start. Pile 1 also had very strong energy coming out the gate, so I am very excited for this reading. Okay, so a Strength card, we've got Leo. And with Death, we have Scorpio. So this doesn't mean necessarily that this will be their sun sign. It could just be significant placements in their chart. So think Moon, Venus, Mars, you know, this is a love reading. But also this is just an energy that they're going to be embodying, that they project outwardly when you meet them. So with the Death card here with transformation, this person has been through a lot in their life. They've gone through some tough cycles, and it's because of these tough cycles that they've been able to develop this inner strength, this resilience. And I love this depiction here of the Strength card because usually it's a woman standing beside a lion or something with a woman and a lion. And here it's the lion is just rolling around in these like pretty poppy flowers. There's just this playfulness here. And I feel like with this depiction of the Strength card, it's not just that they're resilient or they're connected to their inner strength. It's more so that even though they've been through these tough cycles, even though they have known true hardship, true pain, true hurt, true loss, it's like they still have their softness. You know, they haven't let these tough experiences harden them. And so they still have a very playful energy to them. They're still connected to their inner child. They're still bright, happy-go-lucky, optimistic. I mean, you would never think, like you would never ever think, until you know this person on a deeper level, you would never think that they have been through the things that they have been through. Like, you would never think that this person has known a hard day in their life because of how they carry themselves. They're just a bright light. They're just very sunny. They're very friendly. They're just the type of person, when you're around them and you leave, you like hang up the phone or you leave and you feel very energized. You know, this is not someone that you spend time with and then you feel drained. You know, they give people energy. They don't suck it all up. Like, they're just, they give a lot to others. They're very generous. You know, Leo's a very generous energy. But it's amazing that they have so much to give to others, given that they've had so much taken from them in life. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that this person would walk around and be very negative, be very pessimistic, be very jaded. You would not think that this person would be so hopeful, so optimistic. And it's not just that they give like physical things. I mean, they give their energy, they give their time, they give their wisdom to other people. I mean, you talk to this person and it's not like they're like forcing advice on you, but they're just so wise. And they're so connected to these like deep inner truths, because Scorpio is all about deep inner knowing, deep inner truth, what is hidden, what is unseen. You know, they know those painful truths. They know them, and they've transformed them into something that is so beautiful and so nurturing and nourishing to other people. I mean, wow. I mean, it's just a really incredible, incredible energy here. And I know this is meant to be about their personality, but this person has so much depth to them that there's very little that is superficial here. Very little. And I would say too, even with this bee, I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because I'm a Leo myself, but there's something about bees that I associate with Leo, something about the sun and just warmth and honey and sweetness, and that the hard work of bees, but yet the creativity of how the hive operates. I don't know, there's just something, because there's this like socialization between bees, and you know, Leos tend to be very sociable. I don't know what it is, but I connect these two. It's funny that these two came out and that death here is signified by this bee, but I don't know why, but I do associate these two images, these two archetypes, as being very Leo. But I think that this person is like a little worker bee too. I mean, pile one was also very hardworking. So if you were drawn to pile one, there's some similar messages here. Just off the bat, there may be a couple messages for you in pile one. If that doesn't resonate, don't watch pile one. But so I think this person is also very hardworking, and they would have to be to overcome all of these challenges. And it's not just hardworking in terms of like external labor. There's also a lot of internal labor here. They've done a lot of inner work. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have. Oh my gosh. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. You guys, I was just saying that they've been through a lot of hard cycles. So this person could also have Capricorn in their chart. You know, they could be like a Capricorn rising, could have a Capricorn moon, Capricorn sun, whatever. But speaking like as a Capricorn rising myself, Capricorns really, they have a hard go of it. You know, they understand the value of hard work because they're kind of pushed into that energy. Saturn is a tough teacher. You know, Capricorn rules Saturn. It's a very tough teacher. It's father time. You know, it's the kind of energy of like you work so hard and you don't see the immediate rewards. You have to work and work and work to get any little bit of progress. But when you get there, it's beautiful, it's incredible. But nothing is just handed to you. You know, like success is something that Capricorns value so highly. So your future spouse is really going to be a very ambitious person, someone who is very success driven. You know, Leos are kind of like that too in a little bit of a different way. You know, they're very concerned with public image. You know, Leos want to walk into a room and feel proud, feel confident of themselves. They want to have that self-assurance, right? They have that pride, right? The Leo pride. Capricorn's a bit like that too, but they just want success. They're a little bit more status driven. And so with Capricorns, you know, they work hard, but they're also very patient because every success that they achieve, it's hard earned. They've put in a lot of work. Okay. Oh my gosh, more Leo energy. So this person is very confident. Yeah, I would say because we've got Leo coming here kind of 3 times, there's definitely a possibility that they're a Leo sun, moon, or rising, or maybe Venus or Mars. But we were just talking about success. Yeah, they're very, very driven. And I think it's because it's like, yes, they want nice things, but they also just want to feel good about themselves. And they, right or wrong, kind of validate themselves. They validate their sense of confidence. They measure that by how much external success they've achieved. And so it's not necessarily like having the nicest home or having a nice car kind of thing. It's more of like, I make this salary, or I made an A on this paper for this class, or you know what I mean? Like it depends on what stage of life they're in, but they do measure their success by these external things, these external validators. Okay, show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. I think that honestly, when you come into your future spouse's life, if you don't already know this person, you're going to balance out all of this Leo energy, all of this Capricorn energy, because Aquarius is the opposite sign to Leo. So that doesn't mean that you have to be an Aquarius yourself, although if you are, that could be confirmation that you did choose the right pile. But I will say, because you're the opposite sign to Leo, or because you come in with that energy, you balance them out and you remind them what this is all about. You remind them to look outside of themselves, because it's not that they're egotistical, but it's just when you're a Leo or even if you're a Capricorn, you have those significant placements in your chart. You're so focused on self-improvement. You're so focused on bettering yourself and like reaching that next level, that you kind of get like blinders put on, where it's difficult to see outside of yourself, and that can be hard. You know, you sort of detach from that sense of purpose that I think we are all kind of born with. You know, you want to leave the world a better place than when you got here. You know, I think that should be the guiding purpose for all of us. And so with that Aquarius energy, you kind of remind them, hey, like get out of your head. Like stop being so focused on this goal, this goal, this goal. You don't always have to work so hard. You don't always have to be the best. You don't need all of this external validation. Connect to others. Remember the importance of the collective. Remember why you're doing all of this. Like all of this self-improvement is great, but how is that helping other people? You know, you're working on yourself so much. At what point do you turn that energy outward and use it to help others? And sometimes that's really hard, like, because we're so focused on getting to that next step. You know, we're so focused on our goals sometimes. I mean, I think we can all empathize with your future spouse on this one, okay? you know, we're so focused on improving ourselves that, yeah, like you can get distracted. You can get distracted from the importance of your connections to others. Absolutely. I will say too, like your future spouse has a huge heart. They have a huge heart, and Leos are very generous. And I think that when you meet this person, you may catch them at a time when they're coming out of this tough cycle and they're kind of finding their bearings. And it could mean that you're just there to remind them of their generosity and their capacity to give. And you kind of help them through this kind of tough space. And I feel like you're very, because the way the water bearer here is with Aquarius, the way they're pouring out this water, and tarot cups are emotion, right? Their creativity, their spirituality, you know, all of that feminine softness, right? This is being poured out. And so you're going to come in and you're going to give love to this person, give that nourishment, that nurturing softness to them, and it's going to reconnect them with their heart space, because Leo is ruled by the heart. So they have a huge heart, they have a huge capacity to give, but it's like because they've been stuck in this tough cycle and they've just been trying to survive and get through, and you know, you're going to remind them how great it is to thrive, like going from survival to actually thriving, and the importance of giving back to others and connecting with others. You know, life isn't all about just these, you know, external things. You know, you kind of remind them there's more to life than just kind of meeting these checklist goals to like be happy. You know, life is about being connected in the present moment, spending quality time with others. A sense of community is so important. I think you help them in this way. Okay, let's see what else we have. We've got chills. Upon my flesh within thy bones quivers a crawling frozen in numbness. Shall I ignore or shall I bestow it? A frozen knowing looks back at thy soul. Oh man. Remember when I said with that Scorpio energy in the beginning, there is a lot of passion here. There is a lot. I mean, think of Leo fire and then the like deep water, the deep passion. I mean, Scorpio is a very sexual energy. This person gives you goosebumps, and you do the same for them. I mean, you give them literal chills. You ignite something in them and they ignite something in you. This is a very passionate connection, but it's almost like it's so passionate. There's so much sexual tension here that it's like a frozen lake. And so it's not like you guys jump each other bones like right away. That frost has to, like that frozen lake, the frost on top, the ice on top has to melt. And so I think because this person has been through a tough cycle, maybe you're mirroring this, maybe you've also been through a tough cycle, but it's like when you get through that layer and you get to that Scorpio water underneath, there's going to be an explosion of passion here. It's just going to, you guys may start off as friends first. It may take a while for this to develop into a romantic connection, but there's so much passion here, so much of it. Because there's deep emotional connection with Scorpio and that sexual nature, but then there's also that fiery passion, that sun from Leo coming in, and it's just this, gosh, man, this is gonna be like fireworks, and it's kind of cute because it's like you're, you guys are both denying yourselves, I think, in the beginning. Okay, we've got wreath. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. Oh, we've got death again with transformation, and the wreath with cycles. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading this. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. Pretty deep message, right? There's no life without death, no death without life. This person knows all about tough cycles, and they know all about riding it out. That's why I think they're always connected to that sense of optimism, that happy-go-lucky nature that we opened up with. Even when things are hard, even when things are tough, they understand there's always going to be cycles that are more challenging, and then there's also going to be cycles that are so uplifting, so happy, so nourishing, so wonderful, so exciting, right? There's going to be periods of rest. There's going to be cycles of stagnation. There's going to be cycles of great change. They understand the cyclical nature of life, and so they're never that worried. They're never that pressed. They know that everything begins and everything ends, and so they live life with such grace, such harmony, so connected to the season, so connected to nature, so connected to spirit. Even if they don't realize it, even if this is all unconscious, this is the energy that they embody and that they expand outward. And that's why I think it's so important for them to be connected to the collective, because they have so much to give. They have so much to give. I'm getting very passionate in these readings, but man, you guys are going to be marrying some great people between you and pile one. But yes, and so I think that they have a lot to teach you and you have a lot to teach them. And yeah, I think that there's someone who transforms and someone who changes a lot. There's someone who grows. And they grow with like childlike wonder and curiosity. I mean, they love to learn. That's coming through too. They just love to learn. They love to grow. Okay. Now, with Cardinal Medicine, I was really hoping a group would get this card and you guys get to be the lucky group. With Cardinal Medicine, this is, to me, the card of soulmates in this deck. Cardinals, to me, strong association with love, two lovebirds, red, love, passion. So it says, thyself bleeds of sacredness and honor fit for the gods. You are worth all of the seas and all the skies and all the desires you hold inside. When you meet this person, do not doubt that you are worthy of them. Do not doubt. That came up in pile one too. Like, don't doubt that you're not good enough for this person, because you absolutely are. You two are cut from the same cloth, okay? You guys are, I don't want to say two halves of the same whole, because I feel like that can have a negative connotation, but I know how people feel about twin flames and all that. They're soulmates. Sometimes people get a little iffy about that, but you guys really, there's a beautiful mirroring here. I think that you guys have probably been through some similar experiences. This person is, you're gonna feel like birds of a feather. That's what I want to say. Birds of a feather, you flock together. Yes. I think that the beauty in all of this is that if you're also someone who has been through some cycles, which probably, because we all go through it to some extent or degree, the beauty in this connection, the beauty in this marriage, is that the two of you no longer have to face these challenges alone. You no longer have to go it alone. You have a partner. You have someone who is willing to sit in stillness with you and someone who is willing to fly with you. You have someone who is willing to ride out these tough cycles with you, someone who is willing to celebrate the highs of life with you, someone who is willing to sit in stillness with you and rest with you, someone who is willing to grow with you, someone who is willing to meet incredible changes with you, someone who is wanting to move with the changes of life, someone who is wanting to move with the seasons. You know, you two are going to be together for many, 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 many seasons. Okay, this is a long, healthy, lasting marriage. Okay, let's go ahead and draw some cards. Let's shuffle. So let's just get some information about pile two's connection with their future spouse. Pile two's connection with their future spouse. Pile two. Whoa, 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 whoa. A lot is coming out. Okay. Now, I feel like when the deck misbehaves like this, when cards want to fly out like this, to me that is always signaling that if you haven't met your future spouse yet, be prepared. Okay, and I say this also because we have very soon, because Spirit is excited for you. You know, if your future spouse's higher self is like peeking in on this reading, they're excited to meet you. Okay, we've got engagement. If you already know this person, if you're already dating, this could be on the horizon soon. We have romantic feelings. So I think some of you already know this person, and then for others of you, you are going to be meeting very soon, and those romantic feelings are worth exploring. You know, like I said, there may be a little bit of doubt with that like frozen lake kind of imagery that we had. So a little bit of doubt whether this person is ever going to be willing to open up to you, or if this is ever going to move past the friendship phase, but your romantic feelings are worth exploring. And we have let your friends help you. So you could be meeting this person through mutual friends, or you could have known this person in the past and you were friends, or it could mean that your friends, for those of you who are already in partnership with this person, your friends could be helping your person plan an engagement, plan a proposal. And then we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Because of that frozen lake that we talked about, because this person is coming out of a tough cycle, you may have to make the first move. You know, you may have to be the first person to express romantic feelings, admit that you have a crush, that kind of thing. You know, just take what resonates. Let's see if we can find out some information about their career. So pile 2, their career, or if they're a student, any information about pile 2's future spouse and their career or their future career path. Pile 2's future spouse, pile 2's future spouse. Okay, here we go. Yeah, a lot coming out for you guys again. Okay, we've got music. They could be a musician, or this is just a big passion of theirs. And you could also extend that, like they could be like a music teacher, or this could be like a side hustle for them, a great passion, a great hobby of theirs. We've got support. So they have a lot of spiritual support in their career path. So their spiritual team is really guiding their career, really supporting it. Yeah, because we've got trust too. It could be too, with this trust and this support, this person does have like a unique career path. You know, like music can be kind of tough, right? It's not necessarily something that, you know, is like practical, or something that, you know, like everyone's like, go be a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist or something. Like this person really followed their passion, and that can be hard, right? And that makes sense because Leo people are highly creative. So it could be that they've, you know, taken a more difficult career path, a more creative career path. Because we could expand music, because it's a general reading. They could have any type of career in the arts, any creative field. So we've got children. So this person could work with children. They could be a teacher. I think it's interesting too, like these kids are following this person. It looks like they're playing a flute or something. But yeah, it could be that they're, like I said, a music teacher. Could be that this person is a child at heart, or they really want children. But also, Leo rules the 5th house, which includes creativity and children. So there's a lot coming up here, a lot coming up. Let's get maybe one more or two more cards for you guys, because there's just so many messages for pile 2. Okay, we've got yoga. Could be something that is a hobby for them, something they really enjoy doing, or they could be like a yoga instructor. Career change, they could change career paths. Maybe that's why I'm like getting called to get more cards too. We also got that for pile 1. So again, like, woo. Okay. Okay, here we go. Counselor, they could be a child therapist. They could be like a speech pathologist who works with children. They could just be a counselor, a clinical social worker. You know, social workers also can work with children. Lots of possibilities here. And then we also got justice. This person really values equality. You know, like social worker, they fight for justice. They're really involved in like human rights, that kind of thing. Lots of messages coming up. I think your person is, with the wreath card we had, they're so well-rounded. It makes sense they could have so many different aspects to their personality. They could go through multiple career changes. And then also, like I said, this is a general reading. So for some of you, you know, your person is a music teacher. For others of you, they're a social worker or, you know, a counselor who works with children, whatever. Okay. Let's get some love story messages. And like I said, there's some repeating themes with pile 1 that I'm seeing. So if you were called to watch pile 1, for some of you, maybe pile 1 is describing you and pile 2 is describing your future spouse, or it could be flipped. If you really felt like this reading was describing you, maybe pile 1 is describing your future spouse, or there could just be messages, you know, in both readings that apply to your future spouse. But I'm just seeing a kind of a strong, honestly, connection between pile 1 and pile 2, but if that doesn't resonate, if you weren't drawn to pile 1 at all, then you are not obligated to go watch pile 1. Okay. Pile 2 and their future spouse. Pile 2 and their future spouse. I also feel like I'm maybe shuffling a little bit faster for you guys, because like I said, there just feels like there's this momentum of energy here that I didn't necessarily feel with pile 1. Okay, we've got spy. You could be looking at this person's social media if you already know them. If not, you will be when you do get into connection with them. You'll be checking up on their social media, or they will be checking up on yours. Could also mean that there's just a lot of phone calls between you two, a lot of texting. Maybe you send each other Snapchats, I don't know, whatever. Hope. This also came up for pile 1. Don't give up hope. You know, like if you're trying to manifest this person, or if you feel like you're dating this person currently and, you know, they're not proposing to you or offering to move in with you or move in with them, you know, like if things aren't moving as fast as you would like them to, don't give up hope. This is confirmation that, you know, this person will be your future spouse. You and this person, there is an element of divine timing. Like I said, you guys got the soulmates card. You know, this is really meant to be. I mean, we always have free will, always, but don't lose hope. Don't lose sight. If this is a person that you want to be with, don't give up hope. Codependency, this also came up with pile 1. This is not going to be a codependent relationship. This is something that you guys are both, I think you both are moving out of it with the repeating of cycles that we got. I think you guys have been in codependent relationships before, and that doesn't have to mean with the next partner. That could be with a parent, you know, with a sibling, with a best friend. You know, it could be in many ways, but this is something that you guys are both going to be moving out of. It's like you stand beside each other and you take care of one another and you help one another, but you also understand that if you needed to stand alone, you could. You know, you're not so codependent that you feel like you can't function without this person. This is a healthy connection. Open up. You guys are going to be emotionally vulnerable. I'm sorry. You're going to be opening up to one another, sharing secrets. This person's really going to share their hardships with you, and they don't do that with everybody. They don't. I mean, remember how I said in the beginning, this person's very happy-go-lucky. They're very cheerful. You would never think they've been through all of the crap that they've been through, but man, they have been through hell and back, and they don't tell that story to everybody. They don't share that with everyone because they don't want to burden other people. They don't want other people to feel drained by them. They'll offer wisdom, they'll offer support, but they don't want to kind of put all their pain on others. They're not about that. You know, they want people to feel happy around them. They're so friendly. And they also don't want to wallow in their pain. I mean, they don't want to be chained to the past. They don't want that. You know, the people that have hurt them, they let those people go with love. You know, they don't harbor ill will. They're not bound by resentment. They don't care. They just want to live their life and be happy. They really believe, you know, this person doesn't believe in revenge, but if they did, they would be the kind of person that's like, well, the best revenge is being happy, so like that's how they feel. They just want to be happy. They just want to be happy, and they want others to be happy around them. They want to be a light in this world, and they are. They are. Yeah, but they will. They will share their pain with you, and they'll trust you to keep that. You know, they'll trust you that you won't go and broadcast their pain to everyone. They trust you to keep their secrets and their vulnerabilities close to your heart and protect them the way that you would protect your own. Chemistry. Yeah, like I said, fire, passion. You had Leo and Scorpio. That frozen lake will melt and it will be an explosion. There's a lot of passion here, so much passion. All right, guys. Now, I always give a disclosure with the tea leaf cards. These are a lot more, sometimes random, very specific messages. Believe me, they will not apply to everyone. So if something doesn't apply, just leave it. Now this, I'm sure, will apply to everyone. We've got heart, love, deep affection, caring. Like I said, this person is ruled by their heart. Strong Leo energy, ruled by their heart. They wear their heart on their sleeves in some ways. Because like I said, even though they know how to like hold those firm boundaries and protect themselves, they're also still soft. There's still that lion rolling in the flowers. They're still soft. They're still feminine. Like, and again, that's just energy. I'm not talking about gender, but they're still soft, they're still nurturing, they're still caring, they're still compassionate. Their challenges, these tough cycles, have not hardened them. They have not made them tough or cruel or mean-spirited. No. It's like this person, because Leos are stubborn too. And I say that again as Leo myself, but it's like they stubbornly, like, claws in the dirt. They hold on to their softness, to their resilience, to their strength, to their hope, their optimism. They're like, you will not, over my dead body, will you take my like childlike wonder, my curiosity, my belief in goodness and happiness and hope. Like, you will pry these things from my cold dead fingers. You will not get them. Like, they just are not willing to give up their hope and their optimism. They're not. They're idealists and they don't care. Like, they're just unapologetic. They're idealists. They don't care. They believe it's all going to work out. And if things aren't okay, it's not the end. That's how they feel. They don't care. There's no, like, if you're a hardcore realist, that may be a point of contention for you guys, because this person is like, no. Like, I believe in what I speak will come into existence. I believe that if I keep on dreaming, if I keep on believing, if I keep on hoping, good things will come to me. I mean, they're just soft. Like, I did a Cinderella reading, and I mentioned in that reading that, I think it was like Fairy Tale with Your Future Spouse. That reading was, I mentioned in that reading that Cinderella's always been like my favorite princess. I'm kind of getting that energy here of like, it doesn't matter what my external circumstances look like. I'm still gonna hold on to my softness. I'm still gonna hold on to my belief, this blind belief, this blind faith that things can get better, that miracles can happen. I don't care. I'm gonna keep working hard, keep my head down, and keep praying, and it'll all work out because it has to. Okay. Sorry, I just went off like a whole rant on a very straightforward card. Okay, so you got Staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. Yeah, like that's just a belief that this person has. They just believe that. Torch. spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. This is a very spiritual person, and they're connected to that source, that inner light. They know that the universe has them. It's very similar again to pile 1, but they just have this belief, this optimism. Nothing is going to put out their fire. Nothing is going to diminish their creativity, their light, their sun. That they won't have it. They won't have it. They won't have it. Okay, let's get some matchsticks to end. Oh, I keep forgetting. Okay, before we do matchsticks, I pulled some self-care messages from your future spouse's higher self that they would like you to take into consideration at the time of this reading. So for you guys, you got 2 cards instead of just 1. So you got happiness and space. So happiness says, your thinking will either make your happiness or take your happiness. You choose. Your thinking will either make your happiness or take your happiness. You choose. This is also so in line with their personality. I love it. Life is what you make of it. You know, we can't control our external circumstances, but we can choose how we react. And so this person wants you to remain optimistic. If you're going through a hard time, this person doesn't want you to lose your softness either. They don't want you to lose your sense of faith, your sense of optimism. They would hate that. Okay, we've got space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. Interesting. Give yourself the gift of space. It's kind of funny too, with like the Leo energy. I keep talking about that because it's coming up a lot. They really value their space. They really value having, Leos are a bit bossy, right? Like they like to have this kind of order in their environment where they like their environment to kind of serve them. And so they're the type of person that kind of a bit like Taurus in this way of like, they want things beautiful. You know, if they're a really clean person, they want things clean. You know, they really, kind of want that comfort. You know, like Leos kind of like to exist in a space that is reflective of them because they're so creative. You know, they want to walk into a space and feel like their outward space matches them and who they feel that they are internally. And so it could be that there's something in your current environment that is not reflective of you, and they want you to feel comfortable in your space. And so if there's things that need to be removed to make that happen, they want you to go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's get 2 more matchsticks for pile 2. Okay, we got 3. That's fine. All right, so we've got undertake a long-term project together. So maybe you two have a joint soul mission. We've got take your partner on a blindfolded walk. I think that you guys will do like fun, silly stuff together. Trade shoulder or foot massages. So lots of touching. Okay, we've got absence makes the heart grow fonder. Take a few days apart. I think that's because you guys both understand the meaning of cycles, right? This isn't, like I said, for pile 1, not a codependent relationship. You guys really value your together time and your quality time, but you also value your alone time and working on, you know, like things that nurture you, your own hobbies, your own passions, your own creativity. So you come together with that long-term project, you make something beautiful together, but you also know the importance of retaining your individuality and spending time alone. Okay. All right, pile 2, this was your reading. Just like pile 1, I had so much fun filming this. I hope that you all enjoyed watching this. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know, this is a newer channel and I'm really trying to grow our community, and every little bit of support helps. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos if you choose to subscribe. And yeah, let me know if you guys like love readings, if you like the style. If you want to see more videos like this, if you like me shuffling on camera or not, I know everyone has different preferences, and trying to make sure I am catering to as many people as possible. So yeah, I'll see you guys in your next reading. Please take care, pile 2. All right, on my pile 3s, if you chose the lavender bears, welcome to your reading. So I will say there's something about pile 3 in my videos where you're always a little bit different. Like pile 1 and pile 2 were really connected, but when I pulled these cards and pile 3, like we switched over into your energy for your future spouse, there's a definite shift, okay? Your person is a very unique character, okay? Your future spouse is very unique, very different from the other piles. Okay, let's get into it. We've got Justice and Judgment. Okay, very strong energy coming through. With the Justice card here, we've got Libra energy. So this is probably my favorite depiction of the Justice card. So we've got the heart here and the feather. So for those of you who don't know, there's this idea that when we die, our heart is measured, and our heart should be as light as a feather. That's the ultimate goal. So if your heart is heavier than a feather, then you're carrying in your heart, whether it's bad karma, whether it's unresolved trauma where you never sort of worked through it, and now that has to get passed down through a generation, that kind of thing. And I hope that doesn't come off as judgmental, because that's a significant thing to experience. And it's unfortunate that sometimes with generational trauma and things like that, or traumatic experiences where the victim, it's on us to process it and to let it go so it doesn't get passed on to the next generation, or so that it doesn't continue to perpetuate in our lives. But we do, right? Like we have to, staying in that victim energy is debilitating to us, and it's debilitating to future generations. We don't want that to carry on. And so the idea here is that your heart should be as light as a feather. Like if you've done wrong to other people, if you haven't asked for forgiveness, if you haven't, if you just created pain unnecessarily in the lives of others, things like that, your own demons that you never worked through, you didn't take the time to develop, you didn't learn from your lessons, that sort of thing, your heart will be heavier than this feather. So I will say too, with Judgment here, your future spouse is someone who does have a heart that is light as a feather. It is balanced. And that is so rare. That is so beautiful to have that energy, to have someone who is so enlightened, is so connected with their inner truth, with the truth of the collective, to have someone who has answered the judgment call, someone who has dug down deep, someone who has processed their trauma, someone who has processed their lessons, if they have trauma, someone who has really grown through experience, someone who has dug deep, someone who is very, very, very self-reflective, I'm getting a very quiet energy from this person. Pile 1 and pile 2 kind of projected this sense of outward strength and sometimes extroversion, or just a very kind of tough outer shell. Your person is a lot softer than that. Like they move through the world with a very quieter confidence, and they're very introverted, and they're very deeply, deeply connected to who they are. And there's just so much about them where, how do I put it? Even like my words are slowing down. Like I was so hyper in the first 2 groups, and I feel such a deep sense of calm. This person will not sacrifice their peace. They won't. Not for anyone or anything. They will not sacrifice their peace because they're so connected. They're so connected spiritually. And they're connected to their ancestors. This person has a very strong line of ancestors who are acting as guides for them. And they don't have to be aware of that in any way. But there's so much here about digging through the dirt and death and rebirth and things that are buried, things that are unseen. And you see the shovel here? Yeah, this person has gone deep. And this person may have started out with a lot of inner demons. They may have started out with a lot of generational trauma that was just placed upon them. They could have started out their lives with a lot of expectations placed upon them. They're the type of person that was expected to be an adult as a child. This person did not get to have the childhood that they should have had. That was denied to them. They had to grow up fast. They had to learn fast. And that's why there's a bit of a seriousness to them. But they move, like I said, they move with this quiet grace. I mean, that doesn't mean that they're feminine, but that's just the energy. I'm taking some time to really ponder these cards because this person's very mysterious. There's a lot more to them than what is on the surface. These roots are deep. Okay, I want to sit with this for a moment. So let's move on to the other cards, but I may come back to this because there's a lot here that this person has. I think at one time I said I was going to move on and then it came because I knew there was another message. I knew that there was. Okay, there was a lot at one time that this person buried. They buried a lot. I think that they buried limiting beliefs that were taught to them. I think that they buried, if they had substance use issues or if that ran in their family, they buried it. If there was way too much materialistic attitudes, if they were taught a lack mentality, they buried it. If they weren't loved by their parents, they buried it. If they didn't have their parents, if they didn't have a stable home, a stable caregiver, they buried it. Because they had to survive. They had to get through the day as children. As a child, they had to do this. They were taught that their feelings were not important, that their feelings were not valid. They were gaslit a lot. I think they were lied to. I think that they probably had a manipulative parent or something like that. There was just so much instability, so much pain. I feel kind of frozen right now. I almost want to cry. I've never had that in a reading. Because imagine burying all of that so that you could get through the day as a child. And then as an adult, you did the hard work of digging all that crap up. I mean, this is stuff that was buried. I mean, you could have been 5 years old and this was buried. And so your future spouse, I mean, layer by layer, peeled back, dug up, all of this dead, rotting underneath this tree, like rotting the foundation. They dug it up to plant anew. I mean, you see these flowers circling here. They have built up so much for themselves. I mean, externally and internally, they have planted new seeds because everything, like the soil itself, was tainted by all of this crap. So imagine carrying around a weight like that. Imagine carrying around the weight of other people's BS as a child, growing up, shoulders sagging under the weight that really should have never been placed upon you. you're a child who is treated like an adult. Imagine that weight on your shoulders. And then as an adult, going through the process, the painful, painful process of making your heart as light as a feather. And they've done it. This is a very mature person, very evolved person, but they have fought for that. They have fought for it. I mean, listen, like, I know we're talking about your future spouse, but I will say, you know, not everyone treats their partners kindly, and I hope, Pile 3, if you're watching this, you treat your future spouse with compassion, with empathy, with kindness, with gentle energy. Because they have been through it. I mean, their wounds were deep. And if you're watching this, I mean, you probably know how hard it is to heal. And to see that they've done it, to see that they've come out on the other side of it, that is incredible. That is incredible. Okay. So we've got a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. And we've got look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Interesting. Now I'll admit, I wasn't expecting fire energy because we've got 2 fire signs here, and we've got it's just interesting. Okay. We've got cardinal fire and we've got mutable fire. So we've got the spark that starts the fire and the heat that scatters from the fire, because Leo is fixed fire and we don't have Leo here. This person had to be the initiator. A lot was placed upon their shoulders. Like I said, they had to be an adult as a child. This is the type of person where they had to get a job in high school and help pay the bills. They weren't allowed to just go to school and be a kid. This is the type of person who had to be a leader in their family, probably the oldest sibling, who had to take care of the younger kids, stuff like that. And so with this person, I think part of one of their demons that they had to work on was that they used to be very impulsive and they used to have a temper. They used to have this anger, this rage. And it's very understandable given their childhood, but they had to work through that. And I think that's why now they move with such grace, such calmness. You would never have thought this person had an issue with their temper. Never would have thought that, because they've worked through it. And I think also as this person has gotten older, they've really broadened their perspective. But look at the bigger picture. Sagittarius is the teacher, the philosopher. So they've really moved from an evolved state, from the first sign of the zodiac all the way down to the 9th. I mean, they've moved into a more evolved state. Don't take that offensively if you're an Aries watching this. I love Aries. But they moved to a more evolved state with Sagittarius. Now they can teach others, they can help others because they've been through this pain. And I think also they're go-getters. Aries and Sagittarius both are go-getters, fire energy wands. They have made something out of themselves from nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, and I don't mean just financially, I mean emotionally. They had no support. Or very little. This person could also really love to travel, because I don't think that they got to experience a lot as a kid, because they had to be an adult. They got their childhood denied to them, so now I think they have a bit of a restlessness to them. So they want to travel, they want to see more of the world with Sagittarius. They don't want to feel tied down. They were tied down for so long. With Aries too, they don't want to be tied down. They want to be moving, they want to be going, they want to do things. They want to have new experiences. They want to experience life because they didn't get to experience a lot as a kid. So they want to do that now. This isn't a homebody. They want to go, they want to do. Very action oriented. They can't stand sitting still. I mean, this person will do the work, right? Whether it's internal or external, they'll do the work. So they're not going to sit around. This person sometimes can run the risk of taking themselves a little bit too seriously. You know, sometimes they fall back into that old habit of being so serious, being so studious, taking the world so seriously. I mean, imagine that. Sometimes they fall back into that pattern and then they realign themselves pretty quickly with that feather heart. They bounce back, but sometimes they do have those struggles. I mean, no one's perfect, right? Okay. Like I said, it just feels very serious compared to the other two groups. Gratitude, very interesting. All that I am and all that I'll be, forever in gratitude I'll eternally be. This person is so grateful, not just for the material things, but for the people in their life that they can trust. They're so grateful to those people. They'll be so grateful to you. They're connected with that heart chakra there, that inner light. They're so grateful. They had to fight for tooth and nail. And so they're also grateful for the person that they've become because they had to fight to become this person. It was a fight. To find who they were is a fight. It was a battle. I mean, they were the type of person who was verbally abused as a child, who were told that they would never be anything, who constantly had their feelings invalidated. This is the type of person where even if it wasn't malicious, just that generational trauma, that generational thinking, those limiting beliefs that get passed down and passed down, you will never be anything. You will never be greater than what you are now. There's no room for elevation. If they came from humble beginnings, they would have been told the poor always stay poor. There's no point in trying. I'm taking a lot of pauses because it's just very heavy energy here. Very heavy. I feel like your future spouse's higher self is coming through, and they're really hoping that you listen to this. Because it's so important for them that you understand who they are and where they've been and where they've come from. They want you to see them. This is heavy for a personality reading, but they really want you to see them. They want you to understand them. And they want to give that back to you. They want to see you. I mean, really see you. And they hope for so much, but they hope that you can accept them and understand them, and they hope that they can extend that back to you. They hope that you won't judge the process. They hope that you won't judge where they've come from, how they used to cope with their demons. They hope that you don't judge that. So I think for some of them, maybe they had some unhealthy coping skills, some maladaptive coping skills that they used to survive, whether that was through substances, drugs, food, shopping, gambling, sex. Some sort of darkness there. Maybe they I don't want to keep naming things. I don't want to trigger anyone. But I think that you get what I'm saying. I think they've been in moments in their life where maybe they wanted to hurt themselves. That was the only way for them to process what was happening. Because they just wanted it to stop in some way. And to come out of that and to have a feather heart. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, this is beyond resilience, right? This is integration. They've integrated their shadow, and they have just truly, truly transformed. Okay. We have the crone. Thy wisdom befriends the honor in which weaves within blood a heroing call from the depths of your sacredness. This person is so wise beyond their years. So wise beyond their years. They are more evolved than anyone else living in their bloodline. I mean, it is heavy, right? Like, there is no one in their family that they can go to for advice, that they can go to for support and feel understood, because they have evolved so far past where anyone in their family, if they even have a connection to their family, I mean, they've evolved, they've learned. And so sometimes there's this loneliness that they feel because they don't have these limiting beliefs, and they refuse to fall back into that to fit in. They refuse. Even with their own family, they refuse. Silent night. If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening, there would sound nothing at all, nothing would sound. I think this person has become comfortable with being alone. You know, they've had that lone wolf kind of thing where they've had to go it alone out of necessity, and now they've become comfortable with it. But I think that they want a chair beside them. They know how to stand alone, but they don't want to always have to do that. They don't want to always have to take care of themselves all the time. We all need support, all of us. And so I guess there's this feeling with them of like, I've learned how to do this. I think that they're really trying to manifest you. If you don't know this person yet, they're really trying to manifest you. They really are, because even if they're not into law of attraction or anything like that, they're just praying or asking. They're seeking this. Their heart is seeking yours. They just feel like they deserve it. Like they feel like they deserve a happy, healthy partnership. They feel like they deserve that. I mean, hell, I would too. If I did all this inner work and I had a heart as light as a feather, and I had gone through all of these challenges and fought tooth and nail to get where I was going, I mean, I would feel like I deserved love too. I would feel like I deserved a happy, healthy partnership. Why not? Yeah, I mean, I'm with your future spouse on this. Like, they've earned it. They deserve it. Okay, let's get some cards now. Just some more like general information about pile 3's connection with their future spouse. I'm sorry that this wasn't as like fun and lighthearted as the other two groups, but I mean, this is honestly what it is, you know? Sometimes it's heavier. And I think it's so deep, you know, there's no like superficial, like, oh, this person's more of an introvert or an extrovert, or this person, you know what I mean? Like, this person wants, your future spouse wants you to know something deeper about them than they like the outdoors and their favorite color is red. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, no, I want them to know the depths of me. I mean, this person just has such an intense energy. Okay. Pile 3's connection with their future spouse. Pile 3's connection with their future spouse. Okay, you were wanting to come up. Passion. Yeah, I would say so. There's nothing superficial or lighthearted about this. Not in the least bit. This is an intense marriage. I mean, this person will be so loyal to you. I mean, if you're wanting someone who will be your rock, soulmate. Yep, you're gonna marry your soulmate. This person is going to ignite a passion in you that no one else has ever, because it's so deep. It's so deep. It's not like, oh, this would be a good partner because we want the same things and we have shared hobbies, or, I mean, not to say that that won't be true, but this is so much deeper than just that. I mean, it's almost like, I mean, you guys are going to feel like family, like friends, loyal. There's so much about loyalty. This person will never stray. This person will never intentionally hurt you, let you down. Attraction. So much about attraction. I'm sorry, I was just going to get 3, but I'm feeling one more. Okay. Pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. This person, because they've been hurt, because they have been through what they've been through. Even though they've worked on themselves, like I said, they're very attuned. So if you can be honest with yourself right now, if you're watching this reading and you feel like there's some things that you need to work on, if it's codependency issues, if you have trust issues, anything like that, you know, even soulmate connections are not happy-go-lucky fairy tales, right? This is real life. So work on yourself. If you already met this person, then you already know if they have triggered some insecurities in you, if they've triggered some things. Because this person is so evolved, there is the risk of people projecting their own insecurities onto this person. You know, there may be some misunderstanding because they're so mysterious. You may have trust issues because maybe they don't act like your previous partners, things like that. This connection is so deep, and you may feel so connected to this person that you're afraid of losing them. Maybe you don't trust that they'll stay. Whatever your insecurities are, we all have them, no judgment. But this person is gonna see, this person's gonna read you like a book. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So if you're hiding something, if you got something you need to work on, insecurities, anything like that, go ahead and do that work now. Because they may trigger some things in you that maybe you weren't expecting. Maybe you feel like you're a confident person and then you meet them and they trigger some insecurities in you because you're so attracted to them and you think they're so great that it starts to make you feel a bit insecure. I mean, go ahead and work on that now if you can, if you're aware of it. Okay, careers, possible career paths, any information about their hobbies, careers, student. Whoa, sorry, fell right on the floor. Give me a second, pile 3. Ooh, author. I love that for this group. I love that so much. Not just because I myself wouldn't mind being an author, but because, I mean, hell, if you've lived their life, you have a tale to tell, right? Like, you have a story to tell that could help other people so much. So the fact that they write is amazing. Like, that is awesome. I love that. Okay. So if they're not a published author, I mean, they could just really love to write. They could journal a lot. Could just be a strong writer. Freedom, yeah. They really value their freedom. Remember what I said with Sagittarius and Aries? They don't want to be tied down. You know, they don't want to feel, they don't want to be chained. They've worked too hard for that. Infinite abundance. This person is really successful. That could be what triggers some of that insecurities. If there's a financial difference, that could trigger some insecurities there. That could be what the red flag was talking about. Environmentalists, they could really care about the environment. They could be very passionate about that. That could be their job. They could do something in relation to the environment. There's all kind of like, you know, government jobs and things like that with like urban planning or, I don't know, water. I don't know. There's a lot of jobs like that, you know, where they go and they plan like cities and stuff. They could be someone who goes in there and is like, yeah, but the environment. Okay, options. Yeah, this person is definitely someone who has a lot of career options because they're so smart and hardworking, and you know, they've been through it. They have a lot of life experience, so they could do a lot of different things with their life. Creative expression. So with author, they could express themselves creatively, probably through writing. They could also be a teacher. And even if they don't do, even if they're not a teacher for their job, because, I mean, this is a general reading, so not all of pile 3 future spouse is going to have the exact same career, right? But if they're not a teacher, then, like I said with Sagittarius and the philosopher, Sagittarius is the teacher. They could just teach other people, and maybe that's through their writing. I'm getting way too ahead of myself with my words. A lot of messages coming through though. They could teach other people through their writing, or they could teach other people just in the wisdom and the advice that they share because they've been through, like I said, hell and back. Yeah, Lots of possibilities there. They could even be like a tutor. Could be like a side gig for them. Everyone's got side hustles these days, right? Okay. Pile 3, let's get some more information about this connection with the love story cards. I don't know why I always shuffle again, because I pre-shuffle before I even start the video, but whatever. Pile 3, future spouse. Pile 3's connection with there's some card here that's like misbehaving. If you want to come out, come out. Pile 3. Yeah, I see you now. Self-worth. Yep. This person's gonna hold up a mirror to you, and I hope that you like what you see. I really do. I mean, I don't mean to like intimidate you all, but this person is incredible. I mean, every group has been incredible, but your person is evolved on a whole other soul level, I think, than the average person. So, I mean, really, really make sure that you feel worthy of this person, because you do deserve them, Pile 3. You do. So please, please don't let your insecurity affect the way that this goes. And I'm not saying that you all watching are insecure people. I'm just saying that even if you feel really confident right now, some people, when they come into your life, can just make you feel a certain way. And there just could be some issues around your finances, your self-confidence, you know, your feelings about your physical body, you know, anything really, since this is a general reading. But this person sees you as someone who is valuable. This person treasures you. And I guess the message here really is that they want you to see yourself the way that they see you. Okay? So they see your value, and they want you to see it and feel it in the way that they feel it and see it. I mean, this person loves you. I mean, don't doubt it. They love you. Freedom again. I mean, this person just refuses to be caged. And I think also they will never cage you. They will never try to trap you. They will never want you to, you know how people do these like petty things of like trying to manipulate or control you. You know, they're never gonna be the type of person to like go through your phone like unprovoked, demand that you give them all of your passwords, or I don't know, do something really psychotic like follow you when you leave the house. They're never gonna do things like that, you know. And listen, if your intuition tells you something is off and you go through someone's phone, that's a bit different, right, than going through someone's personal belongings unprovoked with no good reason, no history of anything. You know what I'm saying? So no judgment if those of you have like followed your intuition and found out someone was cheating on you or something like that. But this person isn't going to use manipulation tactics. They're not the type of person to say like, oh, well, I'm not going to text them back for like 4 days because I'm trying to make them think that I don't care, and then if I play hard to get, then they'll chase me. They're not going to do things like that. That kind of stuff is really just beyond them. Like, they just want to spend time with you, get to know you. If you're already with this person, then you already know how they are. They're just very honest, very genuine, and yeah, if they have to use manipulation tactics to get you to be romantically interested in them, then they don't want you. You know, so this is your future spouse, so you're probably going to get this vibe, and you're probably going to feel the same way. Okay, we've got differences. I think that could be the issue, is that you two are so different that it does feel a bit triggering, and you may feel like maybe in the beginning, because they're so quiet and reserved, that maybe they're not into you, and they are. You know, they just express, they could be that they have a different love language than you, and they just express it differently. So maybe sometimes you worry that love isn't there because they're expressing it differently than what you're expecting. Let's get a little bit more for you guys. Flirt, yes, okay. That light-hearted energy is coming through finally after so much heaviness. Yeah, it could be too, like, I could see this person maybe having like a dry sense of humor, or maybe they like to tease as a form of flirting. And maybe at times if you have self-worth issues, maybe you could take that the wrong way. Maybe you could be reactive to that instead of joking back or something like that. That could be a possibility for some of you. Could be that you just have different styles of flirting, so maybe you don't get that they're flirting, or maybe they don't get that you're flirting. There could just be an issue in the beginning because you're so different with understanding one another. But I think it's very beautiful though, with like, because yeah, you guys got the soulmate card. So I always think with soulmates, in some ways you do push each other to grow. And so sometimes there can be a little bit of a trigger there. But I mean, listen, like, that's the point of partnership, right? Is to grow and to learn from one another, and to create and to come together and create something beautiful, share in something beautiful. I mean, there's not a bit about this that is stagnant. Nothing about this is stagnant. I mean, there's so much room here for growth, for beauty, for creation. I mean, like, the way these birds are flying, this relationship's going to feel so freeing, because I think this person is really going to be an inspiration to you in a lot of ways. Bottom of the deck, we've got passion. So yeah, like I said, never deny that this person wants you body, heart, and soul, and they want to give you that right back. Okay, so I asked for self-care messages from your future spouse's higher self. What are you doing? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys can see this cat or not. Probably. So this channel was named after her. Are you gonna sit? Sit. You want to join the look at this fuzzy butt. Gracie. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's fine. We'll continue. Oh my gosh. Cat. Lover. What are you doing? Stop. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, so I don't have the heart to like make her leave. She just has to leave on her own. I love her too much. Okay. These are channeled self-care messages from your future spouse's higher self. Things that they want you to take into consideration at the time of this reading. So we've got invitation. It's a beautiful card. It says, the words you speak are an invitation to life, a request to bring energy into form. Choose your words carefully. Like I said, this person chooses their words carefully. They're very reserved. So I feel like also there's a little bit of energy here of manifestation. So if you're trying to manifest your future spouse, if you feel like you haven't met them yet, choose your words carefully. Make sure that you are asking for your soulmate to come in, because this person is a soulmate. So make sure you're manifesting your soulmate. Make sure you're manifesting for the higher good, the highest good. And I think also this is just kind of a general message of, you know, sometimes our thoughts can create our reality. Sometimes our reality is a reflection of our emotional state, our mental state. So just choose your words carefully and make sure that they don't want you to struggle. You know, they've struggled so much, they don't want you to struggle. So make sure you're just speaking positivity when you can. I mean, this isn't saying like, you're never allowed to complain, or you're never allowed to have negative or unhelpful thoughts, you know? Like, that's just part of being a human. But it's saying just choose your words carefully, and also choose carefully how you describe yourself. If you resonated with that message of insecurity, don't put yourself down. You know, don't say negative things about yourself. Okay, we got power here. It says, the ability to suck it up is not a superpower. Saying no is. Own your power. So if you have people in your life that you need to say no to, that you need to set boundaries with, your future spouse would like you to go ahead and try to do that. No is a complete sentence. You are allowed to say no to things that don't serve you, to people who drain your energy. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot the tea leaf cards. Okay, sorry. So we'll go ahead and do these really fast. So with the tea leaf messages, I always do this disclaimer because they are very specific and sometimes they're a bit random. So if there's something about this that doesn't resonate, please leave it. Okay, we've got handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. So this person could be a complete and total stranger. They're not a mutual friend. You don't know them. Could be a random divine timing, kind of like meet cute with a stranger. So take that if it resonates. We've got broom, new home, new attitude. So it could be that you guys end up, I mean, obviously this is your future spouse, so you're gonna have a home together, but it could be a new home. So it's not like you move into their apartment or they move into your house. You guys do purchase a new home together. And it's a fresh start, I feel like, for both of you. We've got hills, obstacles to overcome. I do feel like there may be some challenges with the way this unfolds. And I think that's because you two are so different. And so in some ways, and that doesn't mean necessarily that you're different in personality. It could just be that you're different in the past experiences that you've had. You come from very different backgrounds. And so for some of you, you know, there could just be some difficulty with how this unfolds. You know, you could doubt that they have feelings for you. You could have some self-worth issues. You know, maybe you doubt whether they have romantic feelings for you. And so if this relationship doesn't move as fast as you want it to, maybe you could have some insecurity. Take what resonates, but I mean, this is your future spouse, so it's all going to work out in the end. It's all going to work out in the wash, but just have patience, you know? Definitely have patience. Okay, let's get some handshake messages for my pile threes. Pile three, I feel like this is wanting to come out. And that one. Okay. So we've got read aloud to each other a novel, the sports page, anything. I mean, this person, we did get author, so could be that they love to read. Could be that they read to you things that they have written and they want your feedback. Could be just something that you guys both share in as a hobby. We got put your favorite music on and have an impromptu dance party. That sounds nice, given all this like heavy energy we had. Sign up for a class together. That doesn't surprise me with Sagittarius. This person probably is like a lifelong learner. They love to learn new things. They're very curious. Okay. All right, pile three. That was a wild ride for me. That was such like stark contrast to the other two groups. I hope this resonated. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos, all that good stuff. Let me know if you like love readings. Let me know like if you have some video ideas that you would like me to film. I'm open to that as well. Always open to suggestions. And yeah, trying to grow our community, so every little bit of support helps. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next one. Please take care, Pal 3.